Oh my gosh, where do I start? So much has been happening. So, for starters, I relocated from the US to Ghana with 6 of my children. Today is the day that we are heading to Ghana, and I don't know, I'm just like filled with mixed emotions in this moment. I just can't believe the moment has finally arrived and I am about to be in Ghana with my kids. In a few hours, we are about to be in Accra. So we just arrived in Ghana. Javius is still sleepy.
Well, we got our food, so hot.
Hold on, we gotta wait right here. Amia and
Come on, dog.
let's go. Let's go. Thank you. I got married to my man.
You gotta sing it.
It felt as if I had been carrying the weight of the world on my back. It's been a huge adjustment period, not just for myself and the kids, but for my husband as well. I feel like so much of me was given into making sure that my kids were able to adjust to this new living situation, new country. They had never been outside of the country up until the point when we arrived in Ghana. So this was a totally new experience for them, culture shock, different food. It was a lot of challenges that I've had to work through with my kids. And I didn't realize how much of myself was being lost in that process. I didn't realize I was so overwhelmed with everything myself, because at the same time that it's an adjustment for my kids, it's also an adjustment for me. I felt myself giving so much to them that I didn't realize so much of myself was being drained. And it caused me to kind of put YouTube on a back burner. I'm going to be honest, because I was just so overwhelmed with everything, trying to help my kids adjust, being a new wife. And at the same time, I'm like, I have to focus on social media. It was like so much. It was making my mind go insane. I was feeling so overwhelmed. I was like, I need a break. I can't do all of this at one time. I'm only one person. Another issue that I found was that I'm not able to travel the way that I want to travel in this moment. And so I felt that if I'm not creating content that I know I want to create, then you know what? I'm just not going to create anything. I'm just going to kind of sit it to the side and pick it back up when I'm ready. And that's not necessarily the best way to go about things. I mean, life can't be perfect for you to decide, hey, I'm going to get back into creating content. I feel like you guys have to come along for this journey, whether good, bad, ugly, or sad. That is the reason why I started this channel to begin with, to show all aspects of what it's like to live here on the continent of Africa. So I kind of feel like I was shutting y'all out, and I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to do that anymore from this day forward. So no matter what's going on, no matter what challenges I'm facing, I am making the conscious decision to film it all. And I feel like I owe it to you guys because y'all have been here with me from the beginning. Y'all have been riding this wave, and I have to be totally transparent about everything that's happening. So today I was browsing on YouTube, just kind of, catching up on what's happening on YouTube because I have been so out of touch with YouTube for some time now. One of the things that really helps me to be inspired to continue to create content is by just going on YouTube and just watching other content creators, just getting inspired by their stories and the things that they're doing. And it brings me hope to know that, okay, if they have these challenges going on and they can do it, then I know that I can do it too. And I feel like I've shut that out, and it's been so detrimental to just my thought process. I wasn't able to get the inspiration that I normally would get. So today I said, you know what? I am going to stop this rut. I'm going to get out of this, whatever it is that I'm feeling, and I'm going to persevere and push forward and create my content because that's what I love to do. So I get on YouTube, I'm browsing, and I come across this story. Let's check it out.
How many years before you started seeing some success on YouTube?
It took me 1 year. After 1 year, my first paycheck, I didn't even know. Someone just told me, so how much I make? I'm like, what do you mean? On YouTube. I'm like, people make money? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't know. So they showed me how to make the money. And then that was to put ads. But my first salary was $100.
Salary from YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember being so excited. I'm like, I knew it, I could do it. $100, oh my gosh. Then I got $100 for 3 months. And then I was like, wait, this money is little. Like, this is so little. How am I going to survive on $100? Then I started getting depressed again. I'm like, no, I need to find a way. Otherwise, I have to go and do 9 to 5. And God forbid I do 9 to 5, So then, around that period, I was very prayerful. And I was so lost and confused, but I really used to pray. And then, just randomly, it's when I just got a DM from Maya.
And when Wodemaya DM'd you, what was really happening? Like, what was going on in your mind?
I was like, no, who's this guy? I'd never seen him. I didn't know of him. He said he was living in China. He came to Kenya. I'm like, oh. No. Then he said he wanted to meet up because he had been arrested. Then he put a link of the video there. So I went and I searched for him. And I found a video where he had been arrested by our police. And as a content creator, I know the struggle. So I felt so bad. And I was like, I'm so sorry, And then we started talking. And then about 2 weeks later, he's like, although I was in Kenya 3 months ago, because I replied his DM after 3 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it because I wasn't going online so often. So when I responded and I reached out to him, he said after about 2 weeks of talking, he was like, he's coming back to Kenya. So would I want to meet up? I was like, yeah, for sure. Then we had a terrorist attack in my country. So he said, nah, he's just going to be going to Ethiopia. Do you want to come? I'm like, no, I'm not coming. He's like, why? I'm like, why should I? Plus you hear so many things about people and this guy is a stranger. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go. But then later I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm already depressed. I'm trying to do YouTube. I'm not making any money. The views were so low. I just wanted to give up. I was like, you know what do I have to lose? So between me and poverty, I had about $400. No, 40,000 Kenya shillings. So I was like, which is about $400. So I was like, you know what? let me book my ticket and go to Ethiopia. And so I booked my ticket and I went to Ethiopia because I was like, what do I have to lose anyway? I'm so depressed. Like, this is the lowest I have been. So let me just go. So I booked my flight. I go to Ethiopia. I was like, my flight was about $250. I was like, I'm going to survive on the rest of the money. So I went, and thank God it was the best decision I ever made because I met Maya and it changed my life completely. Like, he was an answered prayer because he came into my life and he showed me so much about believing in myself because I used to have self-doubt. I used to feel like I wasn't good enough because I personally am not from a rich family. So back then we used to have the people who used to do YouTube videos in Kenya were rich kids. So rich kids, very pretty, you know. And I'd be like, damn, I'm not on their level. What am I trying to do? You know, maybe I should stay where I am. I was so intimidated, you know, I was so he made me believe in myself. And on my YouTube videos, I used to put everyone's name on my tags so that when they're searched, my video comes up. He was like, so he went through my video and he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I want to get found, so I'm going to put people's names. He was like, believe in yourself. Put the tags that are relevant to your topic. I was so scared because I was like, no one is going to watch my videos. But I started doing that. And he taught me how to place ads. Apparently, I wasn't placing ads the same way that I used to. I was just putting it in front, before and after. Apparently, you're supposed to also put them in the middle. And so I did it. And he told me, how often do you upload in a week? I said, once or twice. He's like, you have a side hustle? I said, no. So he was like, this is your job. I'm like, yeah. And you go to job how many times a week? I said, once or twice. And he told me, and people are out there going to work every day. And you're wondering why you're not making as much money. If this is your work, you need to take it seriously and you need to go to work every day. And so I did. And I changed my life. For the first time, I made $1,000 on my YouTube channel. I never thought that would happen. Never. And since then, that has been the lowest money I've ever made. We just kept going higher and higher and higher and just surprising ourselves.
Watching Mrstrudy's story, I was just bawling, y'all. Like, I needed that. I needed everything that she said in this moment of today. I needed to hear every word that was projected from her mouth. And I didn't even realize, I don't even think my soul realized how much I needed to hear those words. Like, man, I'm the type of person that I'm a loner. Like, truly, by heart, I'm a loner because I feel that each and every time that I've opened myself up into some capacity and allow people in, it's always been like drama. It's always been issues. And so for that reason, I don't get close to people. I keep myself separated. I do my own thing. If I see you, it's, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm like that type of person, but I'm just like alone. I've always been that way. Up until I met my husband, and now that's my best friend. Like, you know, I really have him to like just talk to. And sometimes even outside of your husband, you just need somebody you can talk to that's on the same thinking level as you, that can relate to, you know, different challenges and issues that you're going through. And that's something that I really don't have. So I didn't have anybody to come to me and be like, listen, you need to get back to YouTube. You need to stay focused. Like, you know, I didn't have those pep talks coming from people because I isolate myself, to be honest. I just don't want to deal with chaos. I just don't want to deal with confusion. I just don't want to deal with people who come into your life to use you, which is another thing that Mrstrudy spoke about in her interview. And it happens. Like, and I feel like it's more prevalent than actually finding a healthy friendship with someone. So for those reasons, I don't want any parts, because it seems like people come into your life with a hidden agenda. They just want to suck you dry for what they can, and then it's off to the races, or it's F you. And I'm just tired of dealing with people. So I don't want to do that anymore. Seeing Miss Trudy's video come across my feed came at the most perfect time, and the time couldn't be more perfect. And I needed all of the advice she gave. I needed all of the wisdom that she gave. And it helped me to realize that I just need to create content and stop getting in my head about if the content is going to be good enough, you know, if the views are going to be what they need to be. And like, this is things that I never even thought about when I first started creating YouTube. Like, I was just posting and creating and uploading, and the numbers did what they did or they didn't. Either way, it didn't matter because I absolutely loved and still love creating content. So I realized watching Miss Trudy that I have to just create content and get out of my head and stop being so consumed with the thought of if my video is going to be good enough. And I think a lot of it has to do with me just setting high standards for myself. Like, I'm so hard on myself. Like I judge myself so harshly at times instead of just like going with the flow and just creating. Like, I'm an overthinker. So I'm always overanalyzing. I'm always overthinking. I'm always looking at looking at things from different lenses and trying to match this up and put this together and piece this together. And sometimes it just drives me crazy. So I realized that I have to stop doing that. The most important thing that I needed to hear was the financial aspect of what she spoke about, which is when you're first starting off, like your first year or two or whatever, it's a little rocky financially, especially when you're trying to get things right, such as hashtags and the right content, and you know, just trying to critique your channel just to make it overall the very best channel that you have to give. And during that time of just kind of trying to see what works and what doesn't, you're really not making any money because your views aren't there. And so I felt it so hard when she said she got her very first YouTube check and it was $100, and I was just like, that was it. That is me. Like, you know, like I related so much. And I was just like, that was one of my biggest battles too, is like, who can survive off of this little, you know, chump change, like a couple of $100. Like, you know, went from 100, went up to a couple of hundred. But instead of me looking at it in a positive light, like, let me just stay consistent, let me keep going, I got so discouraged because I was like, at the end of the day, I have kids, you know, like all of these kids got to get fed, a way got to be made, a way has to be prepared. And what am I going to do? Like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I need to do something different. But then I look back at all of the achievements and accomplishments that I have made on the channel in such a short period of time. And I think I have to be proud of myself. I think I have to give myself credit where credit is due, to say that I did a great job so far. I'm doing a great job, and I have to just keep pushing forward. So I am back. We are creating content, and we are getting into it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, of what it's like to be here on the continent. And I'm praying and I'm hoping that very, very soon I will be able to travel with my kids and husband and create content to bring right here to Just Vlog. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to be in Ghana. And I'm blessed that I was called for a purpose greater than me to move here. And I think now is the time that I start kicking down these doors. And I don't want my channel to be isolated to just Ghana. I want it to be so broad where I'm just everywhere and just showing the good, the bad, the ugly of everywhere, not just Ghana. Because when people are relocating and they're deciding to move out of the US and they're looking to Africa to relocate, I want them to have a sound decision. I want them to be able to say, okay, I can go to Rwanda because Melody's been there with Juss Vlog, and she showed us that this is the good side of Rwanda and this is the bad side. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some ugly, there's some happy, there's some sad. And I can make an authentic decision knowing that I have been informed about everything, and not just seeing the beauty of the place and not just seeing the bad, but just getting an overall authentic experience from a real life person. So that's my aim, that's my goal, that's my mission, and it feels great to be back. If you have not already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family here with Juss Vlog. I will see y'all on the next video.